What's up everyone, my name is Abby, I like to read, and today I'm going to be talking about all the books that I plan to read in the month of October. So I am planning to read 9 books in the month of October, and yeah, I'm just gonna tell you which ones those are. So I have 2 books that I did not complete on my September TBR, so I'm going to try to make those top priority. The first one is A Court of Wings and Ruin. This is a reread. I'm tabbing it. I'm halfway through. And then the second book is Failed Future by Elise Kova. That is the 3rd book in the Air Awakens Vortex Chronicles series. That's also a reread or a re-listen. I'm listening to that on audiobook. And I am probably 75% of the way through. So I'm really hoping that I kind of prioritize these and get these done since I was technically supposed to finish them last month. The next book that I plan to read in October, I am currently reading right now. I started reading this the end of September instead of reading the books that I was supposed to be reading, apparently. I just kind of randomly picked it off my shelf and kind of wanted to read it, and that is City of Heavenly Fire by Cassandra Clare. This is book 6 in the Mortal Instruments series. I'm trying to read all of Cassandra Clare's books. I've read all of the Infernal Devices, so this is the last book in the Mortal Instruments series that I need to read, and then I can go on to the, I think it's called the Dark Art of Sea series, which I don't currently own, so I'll need to get that one. But yeah, this is a huge book. I started it, I think, maybe 2 or 3 days ago, and I'm on 164 out of like 725 pages. So hopefully I'll be able to finish this one, but it is pretty hefty. The next 3 books that I want to read in October are all audiobooks. 2 of them are in the same series, that being Sovereign Sacrifice and Crystal Cage, books 4 and 5 of the Air Awakens Vortex Chronicles series by Elise Kova. I think previously I have halfway listened to Sovereign Sacrifice. I never finished it, and then I never read or I never listened to Crystal Cage, so that will be a new one for me. I'm excited to finish the series out. I'm not enjoying it as much as the Air Awakens series, which is the original series. This is a sequel series. Just not really connecting to the characters quite as much, but maybe that will change in the second half of the 4th book and then the 5th book. The 3rd audiobook actually doesn't come out until October 24th, and that is The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King by Carissa Broadbent. The names of the books in this series are very long, so I'm having to like look down and read the name off of my list because that is a very long name. The Ashes and the Star-Cursed King. This is book 2 of the Crowns of Nyaxia, I think. And this book actually is currently out, but the audiobook doesn't come out until October 24th. So I'm hoping that by the time we get to October 24th, I will have finished all the other 2 audiobooks, or 3 audiobooks on my list, and I can just go ahead and get into this one and finish it out by the end of October. The next book is also a reread. It is the Percy Jackson Book 1, The Lightning Thief by Rick Riordan. I recently went to a book tour with my boyfriend of Rick Riordan's, and he was kind of promoting the new book, which is like a book from the Percy Jackson series that just came out, I think in September, and it just really made me want to reread this series. Also, the TV show is coming out in December, so it'll be a nice kind of refresher course for that. So yeah, I do plan to tab and then also like underline my tabbings, just because I really like this author, this series, so yeah, I'm excited to reread this. And I think they already came out with new covers. That's one thing that I don't really like in the book world, is the constant rebranding of covers, because I feel like Rick Riordan like has a style of cover for all his books, and then they change, so I have the old style, but all the new books are going to be in the new style, and they won't match, and it just makes me really upset. But this is the 2nd or 3rd cover redesign. I do actually have the original. Actually, no, this wasn't the original Lightning Thief. There's a different cover for the Lightning Thief, but for the whole series, this is the kind of original cover. These books I've had since I was like super young. Oh, they're so dusty. Oh my gosh. I've had these for a long time. My brother read them, then he passed them to me, and I read them, so they're pretty special. But for this reread, I'm going to be reading this particular copy and then tabbing it. And one thing that I'm excited about is usually for my paperbacks, I'm very careful about not cracking the spine, but for these, I'm gonna crack them up. Just because they are middle grade, so there's like that kind of childish feeling about them. It doesn't have to be as perfect, and I want it to show that it is loved, so I'm gonna go for it. I'm just gonna crack the spines, so yeah. So the next two books are actually unknown to me currently. I'm going to pick from my TBR jar. I started doing this last month, and I ended up reading 2 out of the 3 books. I'll go more into detail on that in my September wrap-up. But I think it worked out. I just think maybe it was a little too ambitious, so I'm going with 2 books this time instead of 3. And so the first book is A Curse So Dark and Lonely. Alright, so that is A Curse So Dark and Lonely by Bridget Kammerer. Why do I, for some reason, think this is going to be a Beauty and the Beast retelling? For some reason, that's what I have in the back of my mind. I don't actually know what this book is about, but I've heard that it's good, so I'm excited to read this. Alright, and the second book from my TBR jar is The Last Wish, which I actually am not going to read because I've decided that I'm going to sell that book because I don't want to read it. Because I really didn't enjoy it the first time I read it, so that I'm kind of cheating a bit, but I just don't want to read it. Okay? I just don't want to. I am totally fine with only watching The Witcher and not reading it. It just wasn't my cup of tea. Okay, but now I have Girls of Storm and Shadow. Ooh, this is exciting. Okay, so technically, this is now adding 2 books onto my TBR. So this is Girls of Storm and Shadow. It is the second book of, what is this series called? Is it just called Girls of Paper and Fire series? By Natasha Nhan. The thing is, this is the second book. I don't remember anything about the first book. So what I'm gonna do is add the first book to, look at all this dust. Do you see all this dust in the air? I need to dust my bookshelves more often, I guess. But yeah, so I'm going to add Girls of Paper and Fire to my TBR, so that means I will have 10 books. So that is great. That might be too many, who knows? But yeah, so I will be reading this one and this one, hopefully this month. So that is it for my October TBR. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, give it a thumbs up. Comment down below if you read these books. What did you think of them? Subscribe if you want to see more content, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. And it just really made me